Kim.
That's
all right. All right, it's 5 o'clock. We're going to call to order the meeting of the Public Safety Committee, committee meeting or roll call. We have 5 members present. Do we individual roll call?
Just for the record, since we're recording it, I'll have everybody give their name.
Okay. Alderman Haas?
Here.
I'm sorry. Alderman Rowe?
Here.
Alderman Turner?
Here.
Alderman Halverson?
Here.
And Chair Grisham is here. Item C, we have a motion for approval of minutes.
So we don't have any minutes to approve.
Okay, so we passed that. And item D, new and previous matters. Item 1, 2025-0074, Class B Tavern Seasonal Temporary Premise Extension Request for Follies Pub, 8031 West Greenfield Avenue, from May 23rd, 2025 through September 30th, 2025. I see that. For the record, for any alders who were not here last year, Mr. Budiak and Mrs. Budiak come in for their seasonal temporary premise extension request, usually ahead of time to make sure you procure your vans and things like that. Being it's past our typical date of seasonal permissions, that's the reason why you're here tonight. I was looking at last year's permissions that we granted, and I see that you had requested 2 weekends in September. Is that what you're looking to do again?
It was, yeah, we added those extra days because we had 6 of them, 5 of them that for rain and for weather and stuff like that. And that weekend before Harvest Fest, we wouldn't do the 30th thing. But the weekend before Harvest Fest, if we have to cancel 7 or 8 or 9 of them this year, depending on what it is. And it seems like September has better weather now, like the June and July and August last year was, yeah, we didn't want people to die. So it was like 110 out on our parking lot. So
Okay.
that was it. So it's within the stated ones. I think from Memorial Day to Labor Day, there was like 32 or something that was passed last year.
Correct.
We had 21 that were scheduled from Memorial Day to that end of September. And it's I think it's less than that even this year.
So
it's-
you're not attempting to extend,
It's not exceeding anything, right?
Yes,
Right.
okay.
It's staying.
it's just that month that you're
Yeah.
looking for?
Yeah, that extra 3 weeks actually, so it can go to the weekend before Harvest Fest. It doesn't pay to do anything with Harvest Fest, but with the races, it kind of, last year it was too loud for any music during the race that we had. So we have multiple races this year again. So then it gives us a little more flexibility.
Okay, and speaking of noise, that was one of the concerns last year. How has it gone with the neighbors?
That was good. We had 2 that we talked about right away, just like the first one. And then we brought in, and we had the health department come in. We were way above or below where we were supposed to be. And then when we brought one of our guys comes in, he does Summerfest, he does Fiserv, some of the bigger ones. Yeah, for them. And so we went through like everything with like 10 guys. Okay, what can this do? What can this do? What can this do? So what we did, we have a sub unit. So we took half this sub off, half that off, and it dropped the decibel level by like nine points, which is quite a bit. And at that point in time, we started doing decibel readings on 80th, and then from 80th to 82nd on Orchard and 82nd to Greenfield. And these were like 45, I mean, which is a very minimal.
Reasonable.
So we just made sure every hour keep doing that. And even people that, because there's some bands that have their own sound people and they don't understand what pressures we're under to do what we need to do. So those were things, this needs to come down, those things. And it seems that worked out really, really well. So it gave us a little breathing to go, okay, we're here. And after that point, there was no issues after that. So, and anytime we come up with an issue, we pretty much try to rectify it right away and deal with, smart people that are smarter than us that can help us in this.
Okay, I appreciate you explaining that. And I see a lot of nods from Alderman Halverson. So do you have anything to offer as his representative?
Yeah, one of my first meetings as an alder was with these two the individuals here, and as being a artist, you know, maybe a little biased towards that, but the moment they had a complaint, they immediately took it on. Health department went out there twice, they found nothing wrong. Like, they've done above and beyond, I believe, in what we're putting in front of them to make sure that everybody's, you know, mostly everybody's happy.
But that's really good to hear. I'm going to open it up to any of the other committee members who have any questions. None? Okay, is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Okay, based on what are going to be the restrictions on it or not? I believe we have a set decibel at 75 or at 100, within how many feet of, within 100 feet. So motion would need to be approved based on that extension with those dates through September and those restrictions. Sorry, I sprung it on.
No.
23rd, right?
May 23rd, September 30th.
Yeah, through the 30th. And I think you gave a reasonable explanation if the weather was not permitting, so I don't think
Yeah,
it's
it's-
necessary to specific dates in. I think you're going under that 32 event anyway.
Yeah. It's too much to name, like,
Yeah, I would imagine.
it's a lot.
Okay,
So I move to approve with the conditions that they stay within 100 decibels, within 100 feet of premises. And then this temporary extension is from the 23rd of May through September 30th, 2020.
there's been a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a great night.
You too. Item 2, 2025-0031, summons and complaint against Super Bottle LLC doing business as Super Bottle 1357 South 76th Street, Agent Runderjeet Singh. Singh? Good evening and welcome back. Starting this hearing, the Public Safety Committee for the City of West Dallas now convenes the hearing regarding the summons and complaint against Super Bottle LLC located at 1357 South 76th Street, West Dallas, Wisconsin, currently holding license ALC-23-23. I'm Suzette Grisham, Chair of the Public Safety Committee. This hearing is governed by the Wisconsin Statute, Section 12512, related to the revocation or suspension of an alcohol license by local authorities. This meeting is open to the public. A record of these proceedings is being made by audio recording. Please be sure to speak loudly and clearly so the hearing can be accurately recorded. You may be represented by an attorney if you so choose. At this time, we need to identify the alderpersons who will be acting as a quasi judicial body. And to my right, I have,
Kevin Haas.
and we have
Dan Rowe.
Chad Helverson.
Susan Grisham as chair. At this time, I'm going to ask other parties to present and identify themselves and their role. I'll start to my right.
Thank you. I'm Nick Serwin. I'm with the City Attorney's Office. I am the attorney for the Public Safety Committee. You guys want to identify each of yourselves?
What did you say?
Okay, and you're the licensing agent.
I'm Bhavdeep Kaur. I'm the daughter of the owner. And my name is Amandeep, the wife of Rupinder Jit Singh.
I'm sorry, could you say that again?
Wife of Rupinder Jit Singh.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
And I'm Allison Childs, and acting as the prosecutor for the city for tonight's purposes.
Tracy, Deputy Clerk.
Good. Thank you.
Okay, moving on, the nature of the hearing on or about January 14th, 2025, the licensee Super Bottle LLC appeared to answer for the allegation in the complaint. Licensing agent Runderjeet Singh was present and admitted to the allegations in the complaint. Is that the way,
Is that the way you're proceeding
Yes.
today as under that admission?
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
okay. Does the licensing agent admit that there was proper notice and service of the underlying summons and complaint? Yes? Yes?
You got that document that says what the allegations are, right?
Yes.
Okay, and you got that on or about, what's the document there? On or about January 9th, right? Okay, very good. Thank you.
Okay, based on these admission, is there a motion to find the allegation in the complaint as true?
Yeah, I will move that the allegations in the complaint are true. The defendants, the party, like, thank you, sir. Licensee has admitted to the conditions and to the complaint, so I so.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Finding the allegations, do we take a vote on that?
Sure.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, finding the allegations in this complaint true, the Public Safety Committee may now determine the appropriate outcome for the licensee. The parties may have the opportunity to make a recommendation or request related to the potential penalties and the opportunity to briefly present arguments or limited evidence in support of that request. At this time, we have presentation of any argument or evidence. So would the prosecution like to present any recommendation, argument, or information to the committee?
I guess I'd just make a brief record. I mean, the length of the revocation is obviously
Volume up a little bit, sorry.
from the prosecution's perspective. I would say that this is not an especially mitigated case. Each violation here was committed by one of the owners and or the licensees of the business. So, you know, I think we should probably know better what the rules that are to be complied with. Per the complaint, the licensee lied to police essentially when he said that one of the underage buyers was a regular there. We know that she was not. That was alleged in the complaint. And these violations occurred only 3 months. So I can make further argument based on what the committee thinks is a reasonable amount of time based on the conditions, but I don't think it's a mitigated case necessarily from our perspective.
Okay. Would the licensee like to present any recommendation, argument, or information to the committee?
Can I stand?
Sure.
Okay. Good evening, member of the Public Safety Committee. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to speak today regarding the matter concerning the revocation, suspension, or non-renewal of my license. I want to begin by expressing my sincere respect for this committee and the work you do uphold the safety and well-being of our community. I also want to acknowledge and take full responsibility for the mistake that I have brought me here today. I do not take this matter lightly, and I appreciate to just explain my side. As a new business owner, I understand the importance of following on law and regulation. Unfortunately, there were 2 incidents that led to this hearing. And I would like to provide context for each. First, my son made an honest mistake in serving an individual who appeared to be the legal drinking age. He misjudged the person's age based on appearance, as they looked older and similar to him. He has since accepted his mistake, and we are taking steps to ensure this does not happen again, including reinforcing the training on proper ID verification. Second, in November, we received a ticket due to oversight on my part at the time. I was under immense mental pressure while dealing with the TNet landholder dispute, which had taken a toll on my ability to focus. My daughter, who has been handling the small court case related to this matter, can attest to this stress we are facing. However, I do not use this as excuse. I acknowledge my mistake and take the responsibility for it. Once again, I want to sincerely apologize for these mistakes. I deeply regret my issue they may have caused. And I want to assure this committee that I am committed to learning from them. As new owner, we are still navigating the responsibility that come with this business. But we are eager to improve and more diligent moving forward. We are already taking correcting step to ensure enhance our compliance with all regulation, including better training for our staff and increase attentiveness to all licensing requirement. I humbly requested that you consider giving us another opportunity, another chance to prove our commitment to operating responsibility. I assure you that we take this matter very seriously and are dedicated to upholding the trust and standard expected of us. Thank you for your time and consultation.
Mr. Singh,
Madam Chair, I have one question.
please go ahead, Alderman House.
Yeah, Mr. Singh, you said you're a new owner. For how long have you and your family owned the Super Bottle?
It's been a year now,
It's
if that's okay, I speak.
Please, go ahead.
Yeah,
Yep.
so it's been a year. We took over in January 19th, 2024. So it's been so far a year and we have been learning. So I just want to say sorry on both of their behalf because they were just back and forth with so much going on. So it's been a year. They have never had any experience with owning a business. So it's just new to just dealing with people and just providing what is needed.
Thank you.
Okay, and with that question, I have another question. So I'm not confused. Is the Super Bottle the new business that came from 81st Street that we relocated to?
No, I believe
This is a
This
super
is
bottle.
a 70.
Okay, so it's not originated. Just want to make sure that I'm not
This
confusing.
was their.
Okay,
Ever since I've lived in this neighborhood, super bottles been there.
super.
you,
Super
No pun
Bottle.
intended.
you took over
We
ownership.
took over same name. We didn't change anything, so it's just the same LLC.
Okay, and being you said you had no experience or very little experience in this
As the
business.
owner, they have
Yeah.
worked, but not as.
And what I heard from you is that you have learned by this and you put in a certain protocol. What is your protocol that you're going to follow now that you weren't doing before to prevent selling to underage?
We were going to invest in the ID scanners thing that they just bring. What we have learned when I am at store, I'm not usually at store, but some people don't have their IDs on them, so we try to do it over the phone. So we also, I saw this on Amazon, which you can scan and it just shows if it's legal or if it's like original or not. So that's what we are investing in. My brother, he's the one who's at the store most of the time. And he is very familiar with the locals who comes, but there are some who comes from like different stores. We have Olympic and Liquor Express. Like, so some of their customers come, so we try to just see their IDs as well, just to make sure. But most of them are locals, so we don't rely on taking IDs, but the ID scanner thing. And just training on not to assume just by looking at the customer, like, oh, he's gonna be over 21, which has happened to him, and he has shown me the picture of the guy, and I was like, oh, yeah, he looked older, but you cannot just assume. So first, just be more justifiable, like, okay, just see with your eyes and then go over. And then ID scanner is the second thing.
Right, and that would be my suggestion to you. I'm 57 years old.
Yeah,
I know I don't go 21 now. And if I go to a store, I would expect that they're going to card me.
Mhm.
And I think that's the best practice that you can have moving forward, regardless of age. If somebody gets offended, somebody doesn't have their license, they're gonna know that if they shop with you, they're gonna have to bring their ID. This is a greater matter sometimes than I even think with a bar, because bars serving an individual.
No, that's-
Underager can come in and they can buy cases of something. And this expands to what could be an underage party, for example. So your responsibility is great. So I just want to remind you of that too. I don't have any other further questions. Does anyone else? Go ahead, Alderman Rowe.
Did you say when I'm at that store or this store?
At my store, the store, I was just pointing it to Super Bottle, yeah.
How many do you own?
Just one.
Okay.
One so far.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Yeah, Madam Chair.
Alderman Huss.
Yeah, I strongly encourage you to adopt a policy of ID anyone under age 30, even if it's Joe, who you remember. Sorry, Joe, it's policy. There are cameras here. They're watching. They're checking on things.
Yeah.
Need your ID.
I'm just gonna bring this thing. I was watching like the live feed. I have the thing to just watch what's happening so far. So yesterday that happened where he was working and he asked the lady for the ID and she only had like one can of beer. And he asked him and she didn't have anything on her. And she didn't even presume to like, hey, I have one on my phone if you want to see. She just like just left. So that was like, it's okay, you can, I told him like, it's okay, you can just ask for their ID. If they don't want to shop there, that's totally fine, but you have to have the habit of asking their ID. I could just look at her face and tell she could have been like younger or might have been older, but just to be on safe side, just ask for ID. Doesn't matter if they buy or just if our sales go up or down, but just the policy come first, in which he has learned and my brother too. So just telling him to just careful.
Right, and reiterating that the community safety is the most important thing,
Yeah,
blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
But I understand too, it's business.
yeah.
You're in it to make money, but you have to have safe practices.
Sure.
Is there anyone else who would like to contribute?
One question. How many people do you have working?
Just my dad and my brother too.
Okay, so you're people that are going through the training, retraining, or making sure that we check the license, check the people. Okay, just want to make sure.
Madam Chair, if I could,
Please.
sorry, just the advice that people are giving you here is overcard. And I understand that the concern is that might impact business, but the bigger concern for your business should be not having this happen again, because if it does, we get to look back at anything we want to, and I gotta imagine whatever that penalty is gonna be hurts business a lot more than the one person that decides not to buy the beer that time.
I don't know. I understand. It's just not for the one specific customer. It's just for everyone.
Hard ever.
And the first warning my brother got, we were not even here. He told me and I was like, just be careful from then on. And the second time this happened with my dad, it was just, I was dealing with the landlord tenant thing with it's happening. So he was just super concerned with that. So it's just more of like the time slot, which was back and forth, and then the mental pressure. He gets super emotional, which the tenant came from me, not for him straight away. So it was just that situation, which I just want to say that we are sorry, and it's just to understand our situation as being new owners. The time frame was very much back and forth, and then just
Well, I appreciate that. Anyone else? Okay, at this time, we go into the deliberations, and committee may move to a closed session. This would be by roll call vote. The committee may motion to go into closed session pursuant to Wisconsin statute 1985 1A for the purpose of deliberating on a matter that was subject to a quasi judicial body or hearing. Upon completion of the closed session, the committee shall reconvene in open session to announce its finding and determinations. Is there a motion to go into closed session?
So move.
Okay, and then we do roll call, correct?
Is there a second?
Okay. Okay, and
Aye.
I from Alderman Griffith.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, we are in closed session.
So that means everybody that's not part of this group will have to just wait outside for a little bit.